Hey everybody,
Hi.
we're back!
Yay, finally.
If you would have told me that we had to wait until the end of February to get our first hike in this year, I probably would have told you were crazy, but weather
Here we are.
yeah, weather hasn't permitted. It's been awful. It's like, but this is like the first weekend that we've had where we hadn't had something going on, where we have spring-like weather. Today, it's supposed to be in the 60s. It's sunny. So today we are back in the Hocking State Forest hunting waterfalls and arches. And we've already stopped at one that's a roadside waterfall. We've been to this little area before. There's like a little parking pull-off on State Route 56 where there's a little, little gorge-like area that has a little tiny waterfall. So I'll turn this around and show that to you. It's not very big or anything, but there's still like some ice and stuff hanging on the rocks, which blows my mind considering how warm it is out right now, but I'll show you what we see. So if you ever come, you'll see a little pull off, and there's like this little gorgy split. And just to show you that there is a trail that kind of goes up and around, because this whole area down here is kind of like a big old mud bog. I mean, it is so muddy, it's like we didn't even want to take a chance to try to get stuck in that hot mess. But right here, it's like a little tiny waterfall. Doesn't have a whole lot of flow on it. The sun's kind of like really shining on the lens right now, but it's got just a little bit of flow, a little bit of ice, still some ice hanging from the rocks, but kind of give you an idea of like the area that we're in. It's a really neat little small gorge right up the side of State Route 56 and the Hocking State Forest. But this is not what we came here for, but I figured since we're right here, may as well stop and check it out. But we're gonna go check out some really cool stuff today, so stay with us and we'll show you what we see. So we are back in Benton Township section of the Hocking State Forest. We parked at the intersection of Steel Road, and that's where the trailhead for this trail starts. Now, this is not a maintained trail, but there's a lot of cool stuff back in here. And if you've never been back in here before and you want to beat the crowds, this is a really good way to do it. I mean, there's waterfalls and arches and all kinds of cool geology back here. You might hear some road noise because the first initial part of the trail follows along the highway, but then it splits off and starts going a separate direction, follows the creek, and takes you away from all that. So we did actually see another couple, and that's the first time I've ever seen any people out on this trail. So I thought that was interesting, but it's really unique. It's a neat place and can't recommend it enough. But right now we got to work our way through that scramble full of blowdowns and make our way along the trail. When we get to some cool stuff, we'll show you when we get there. We're kind of following along the creek right now, and you can see there's signs of where a beaver's been here. This looks like it's been freshly gnawed on. Looks like fresh wood shavings down on the bottom. Pretty wild. So you've seen our video that's called Monkey Skull. We've been on this trail before, but the trail kind of follows along the Queer Creek, which we're standing over right now. And you can see that water is just as clear as can be. And man, that's the sound of the water coming through that little beaver dam right there. Well, it's awesome. So if you take this trail all the way down, you will get to a section where you will see posted signs. And I don't know how well it shows up in the video, but whoever owns the property has got a fence up, basically blocking that area. And the little fence goes back over this way.
All the way.
And pretty much all the way down that way. This section is all private property. Now, if you use a good GPS tool like Gaia, like we do, it actually shows you the boundaries for the Hocking State Forest, and it shows you exactly where it ends. And right now it kind of ends like right by this little tributary of the creek that goes through. However, this section kind of goes uphill right here, is all Hocking State Forest. So in order to get into this gorge that we want to go to where the waterfall is, we're gonna have to go track back up this hill and go back down, because further down into the gorge, it's Hocking State Forest property. It's not this guy's property. So you got to respect private property. Do not hike on anybody's property. Stay in the Hocking State Forest. You can still get there. It's a little work, but it can be done. So all along the hillside, when you go up to avoid the private property, you'll see orange flares on all the trees. You're like right on the edge of the Hocking State Forest, and he's got private property or property boundary, no trespassing. He's got it pretty well flared, and like right through there, he's got barbed wire fence all through there. But further down here, the Hocking State Forest, they own the gorge portion, so we're gonna be able to go back down the hillside and be able to go back into the gorge without any obstruction. So hopefully the waterfall will have some good flow on it so we can show you what we see today. So we finally made it back into the Hocking State Forest property. Just came into the gorge and already found this really cool waterfall. I think this is just called Side Falls or something like that. You can see it's still got a pretty good frozen section, and it must be water dependent because it's got a very low flow on it, but still pretty cool. Definitely one of the cooler things we've seen today. And I'm guessing from the amount of water that's on this little creek right here that the other falls might be flowing, because it's definitely moving. So we're gonna work our way up into this gorge and check out this other waterfall that's back in here. And we'll show you that one in just a minute. But here's another look at Side Falls. I wanted to show you these rock walls that we're walking into. This gorge area is really cool. I mean, it's like one of these super neat areas inside of Hocking that most people never come down to see. They stick to the easy trails. This is why we like to go off trail, because you really miss a lot of cool stuff if you don't. So we can already hear and see a little bit of the waterfall that we're heading towards, but I wish you could really tell like how tall these rock walls are that we're walking underneath. Jeannie, walk in front of it so they can get an idea how tall these things are. These are really crazy. Wow. So there's Jeannie there. The wall goes up and up and up and up. Man, that thing's probably well over 100 feet tall. Amazing. So neat. So I hope the video does this justice. I mean, so there's a little watershed that comes down off the waterfalls. There's the huge gorge that we're walking into. And here is Hollow Double Falls. Why Hollow Double Falls? Because you have that one right there. And you got this one over here. This area is unbelievable. It is so neat. And most people, unless they trek out here, they never get to see how cool this area of Hocking Hills is. Hocking State Forest has got some amazing things to see. This is awesome. So clearly some bonehead has been back here because they left a rope. So I don't know if they were rock climbing back here, rappelling. There's a rope that goes down to the base from up above and really ruins the aesthetics of the waterfall. I really wish they would have went back up and taken the rope down. That's pretty pathetic. But we might be up along that trail after this, so if we see it, we may have to pull it up for the next people to come through. But even still, beautiful waterfall. And look at this one over here. It goes into an ice cone. How awesome is that? So I had to show you this ice cone that the left side of the waterfall is coming down into. This thing is just a tower of ice. Pretty insane. But unbelievably cool. So this area down here is so super cool. And the amazing thing of it is that there's probably at a minimum a 10-degree temperature change down here where the falls are flowing. So I bet during the summertime, this probably feels pretty good down here. It's pretty cold down in here right now. Pretty awesome. So we found what appeared to be a user path up the side of the ridge where we follow the water source up where Hollow Double Falls is, and we found a second unnamed waterfall. I don't think this one has a name, but it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty tall. I'd say probably got a 30 or 40 feet drop on it down the rock. It's I don't think you would call that a plunge because it's water's kind of like a slide fall sliding down the rock, but still pretty neat. And if you look very closely, right there is Alien Head Arch, right above the waterfall, or kind of like right up to the left of it. Can't really miss it. Pretty neat. So we ended up climbing up to the top of the ridge where those last waterfalls were in search of another arch that I had coordinates for. But we struck out. We couldn't find it. My coordinates were wrong, so we decided to backtrack and go find Balcony Falls. And the cool thing about Balcony Falls is not only is it a waterfall, it's an arch too. It's a natural bridge. You see that little portion right there? We'll go underneath it so you can see it, but it's a natural bridge. I don't know that I want to try to walk across that. It's very sketchy up there, but very mossy. But this area is really, really cool. But I'm gonna go down here and we'll show it to you a little bit closer. So this is the base of Balcony Falls Arch. You can see pretty good size through it, and look at the ice flow. Still ice in this thing. Over 60 degrees today, and it's still plenty of ice. Very crazy. But this is a really, really cool arch. Nothing like this in Ohio, really. Pretty awesome. Can you imagine being the first person to ever discover this? How cool. One last look at Balcony Falls. So when we got done at Balcony Falls, or Balcony Natural Bridge, whatever you want to call it, we decided that it was time to head back to the truck. As you can see from this video, we are quickly losing daylight. But luckily, we don't have too much further to go, so we'll conclude this video back at the truck. Hey everybody.
Hey, we're back.
So we just got back to our truck. So today's hike, we did about 4.4 miles. I think we probably picked a more advanced level hike today for our first hike back. Probably should pick something easier. But yeah, so like the one section that we hiked literally up from the very base of the creek floor up the side of a very angular hillside through blown down trees up to the peak, which was 1,000 feet. But once we got up to the top, it was yeah, it was smooth sailing all the way down. It's like clearly somebody had been up there before, because there was orange blazes everywhere, and the orange blazes pretty much led us right to Balcony Falls. Now I had the coordinates for it, so I knew where it was anyway.
But it was pretty easy to get to.
It helped us. It just kind of guided us along the way. It's like, and that just made it super easy. So, I mean, we probably made it in from the top of there to Balcony Falls in probably 20 minutes tops. I mean, it wasn't bad at all. I mean, it's like, plus it was all mostly downhill, which was nice, because going up that hill, that first hill, man, it was something else. But
like, oh yeah, we like that.
But what'd you think of the waterfalls and everything today?
I loved them. I loved all of them. Like we needed to get out so bad. Like, I'm so glad we took this opportunity to do it and to see those wonderful falls, all of them.
Yes, I mean, so we really took advantage of like most of the stuff that was in this area. We tried to find an arch that we had coordinates for, but who knows where it is. It's like
we would have looked further, except we were losing light, and we knew we had to probably get off the ridge.
Yeah, well, we wanted to make it to Balcony Falls before we left. It's like, and we didn't want to be finding our way out with headlamps,
right?
Because it's not a defined trail, so it'd be pretty somewhat easy to get lost back in there. So it's a good thing we got out when we did, and we made it, so it's great. But it was a fun adventure. Can't wait for the next one. And as always, get out and hike. Have a great week, everybody.